Tom Brissett. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at the club, and I'm also the Executive Director of the Nantucket Golf Club's Foundation. So thank you for joining us this evening. It's kind of exciting because this is the first time we've done this this announcement, and here at the club when we're open, which is kind of great. So let's start off. Welcome to the first annual announcement of our Vocational Scholarship recipients. Following the success of the Nantucket Scholar Program, in 2018, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation Board of Directors decided to expand on the scholarship program to reach a wider group of students who exhibited exemplary work, a vocational program, internship, summer employment, or similar experience, creating the Nantucket Vocational Scholarship Program. Each selected student receives a partial scholarship to the college, university, or technical school of their choice. Since 2018, we have awarded 17 vocational scholarships to graduating seniors at Nantucket High. So let's have a round of applause. As always, it's so important to thank the people on behalf of the foundation who have made this program a success. And first and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Board of Directors of the Nantucket Golf Club. Without their incredible vision and support since the foundation's inception in 2002, we certainly would not be here this evening to make this announcement. And thank you to the members and friends of the Nantucket Golf Club and our incredibly generous sponsors who have contributed in so many different ways to the success of our annual fundraising event in August, the Nantucket Children's Charity Classic. Last year, we raised a record $4 million, and to date, our Charity Classic event has raised over $36 million over the last 20 years for the benefit of youth on Nantucket. So and I'd like to especially thank this is one I always get a little bit, so. Thank all the parents, families, teachers, coaches, and friends of each of our 10 candidates in this year's program. Thanks to each of you for your determined and continued support of our Nantucket youth. Collectively, you have been a part of raising amazing young men and women who are the future leaders of our communities. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank the Vocational Scholarship Review Committee. I appreciate your dedication to this program and to the youth of Nantucket. It has been a pleasure to work with you as always. They are Susan McFarland, the Foundation's data coordinator for all past and present students. She managed all the correspondence for this scholarship program and the Nantucket Scholar Program, and I will tell you that is a lot of work. Courtney Foster, department leader, school counselor at Nantucket High School. Michael Gerben, wood technology instructor, vocational technology department, Nantucket High School. Andrew Baselli, coordinator, educational success program, Nantucket High School. And a big thank you to my team, the NGC team members who worked so hard to set up and produce this event. I get to come in and speak and do all the fun stuff, and they do all the hard work, and they've been doing it for years, so thank you to my team here. We're fortunate to have with us this evening Mr. Ed Hajem, who's a member of our board of directors, founder of the Nantucket Golf Club, and a big reason why we have this vocational program in existence. He would like to say a few words. Mr. Ed Hajem.
Don't let Tommy kick you. He's been the real drive, the force behind this whole program. And we did come up with a vocational difference, but there's no difference between vocational, academic, as far as I'm concerned. When Tommy asked me about 24 hours ago to come out, I went to full mode of trying to get this thing done. But I would take any time to come to an organization like the program. Very rarely does one get a chance to really immerse themselves in such wonderful emotion. I can feel love, I can feel appreciation, I can feel pride, I can feel some relief. And I really want to congratulate you all. You basically taking the big first step in that long journey called life. You should be very proud of you. Stop, take stock, give yourself credit. Celebrate at least for a day. I know it's the journey and not the destination. When you get to a destination like this, sort of congratulate yourself. But it's important we also congratulate the team. All right? Mothers and fathers.
Yes.
I guess, I've talked a lot about you, now I'll talk about me, all right? Is that okay? There's a book in your bag, and I was going to bring a copy of it with me. I'm I'm a kind of an old guy who's been around for a long time, and I decided about 10 years ago to write a book about my life. And when I was, I'm gonna flash you back about 68 years, when I was sitting like these young people for their graduation, nobody came to my graduation. My father was a merchant marine, he was at sea. My mother supposedly passed away when I was 3. I was an only child, no aunts, no uncles, nobody. I didn't have anybody. In the previous 18 years, I spent in hotel rooms, motel rooms, 5 foster homes, the YMCA on 34th Street, New York, the hotel room in Coney Island, and 2 orphanages. And when I graduated from Roosevelt High School in Yonkers, I looked around and I was the only person that didn't have parents there. Well, I got an NROTC scholarship, just like you guys did. I went to the University of Rochester, I graduated in chemical engineering, got a commission in the United States Navy. Spent 3 years in the Western Pacific, traveling back and forth 7 times. Left there, took a job in plastics. That was the technology at the time. Some of you remember that Dustin Hoffman, he was 5 years after me. He was supposed to go into plastics. I spent a year in plastics with a company called Hercules in Wilmington. I went to a school in Boston that taught business. Spent 50 years on Wall Street. And then I decided I would start giving back. And just to make the story short, I went back to my alma mater, the University of Rochester, and I was able to give the largest gift in the 150-year history. So, I want to tell you this story because I want to convince you that anything is possible. Anything. I mean, and worse than all the story was, when I entered high school, I was 4 feet 11 and weighed 80 pounds. And I actually went off the basketball team and they cut all the guys under 5'5". I ended up playing varsity basketball and varsity baseball. But anyway, anything is possible, and education is the solution. Almost everything. And as you read my book, and I hope you will get a glance at least, you'll find out that one of my greatest successes was never be a victim. And this golf club, by the way, is proof of that. I'm sorry for the thanking people there, but I came to Nantucket. And I was a big shot. I was trustee at the University of Rochester, I was CEO of a firm, and I couldn't get into a golf club. And I came home and said to my wife, let's get out of here, we just built a house. Should we build a house? We can't leave. I said, okay. What do you want me to do? She said, build a golf course. I said, you built one in Vail, build one here. So I, got together, we built a golf course. Yeah. Never be a victim. Always think about what's next. Because when you're a victim, you use that energy to be a victim. Use that energy to find out what's next. Sorry for me lecturing you, but how did I do it? I mean, I don't exactly know. I spent the last 10 years writing a book, figuring out what caused me to do it. And I developed something. Here's how I make life decisions. I call it the 4 Ps. You'll pardon me. It's a disaster, but I call it the 4 Ps. It's find your passions. And what's wonderful about you, unlike many college people who go to college, you found some of your passions. Your nurses, your marine engineers, one person studying the automobile industry. I think it's fascinating. Find your passion. Find what really turns you on. What gets you excited, what makes you take 2 steps at a time. My passion, at first was math and science, basketball and baseball, and girls. And in college it morphed into more serious things. But eventually I found my passion. What I really liked to do was to put people together to find an answer, create a product, establish a program. What I really got a kick out of, and some of you people, especially you nurses, you got to find out what I got excited about was having people do better than they thought they could. Have them exceed their own expectation. That was my passion. I became a manager. It's a terrible job, but I became a manager and I loved it. That was my success story. So find your passion. Then the second P is find your principles. Find out those rules that you want to follow. Find those lines you won't cross. And then start to write both your passions and your principles down, because they'll both change. Your passions will evolve over time. I was a businessman, now my passion is giving back. And my principles, I kept writing them down. I kept calculating them. One of my principles that came up in the middle of my life was, you can create almost anything if you don't know about who gets the credit. And by the way, have some fun, even in your young life, you want to take the credit. But if somebody gives you some credit, try to deflect it and see what happens. Because no matter what you do in life, somebody else has helped you. That's the second P. Find your principles. And mine, actually, I learned mine, the nuns, when I was in the first and second, third grade, I learned the golden rule. They threw in the 10 Commandments too. Third P, find your partners. Find someone to love. Find someone you want to share your life with Someone you can support, who can support you. I have found that I'm only as good as the people I surround myself with. Think about that. And in today's world, you need collaboration. You've got to have people around. Now, I always find three kinds of partners. Partners who can do things I can't do. Partners who can do things better than I can do them. And partners, the most important part I find, is a partner who can do things that I really can do well, but I don't want to do. You find those three kind of partners, you end up doing things you do well, and that you want to do. And that's what happened. I found a guy in the middle of my, early part of my career, 6'5" Dartmouth guy. All the things I didn't want to do, we were together for 35 years. And besides my wife, Steve really ranks way up there. And by the way, my wife, Barbara, 56 years of marriage, 3 children, 8 grandchildren. I love her more than yesterday, less than tomorrow. Occasionally we skip a day or two. But then finally find your plans. And that's, I've given you too much already. I gave this talk a while back. One gangly kid from Iowa up in upstate New York said, "Hey, Mr. Hagem, you're giving us too many ideas. Tell me something I can do right now." Well, I tell you what, find your plans. Come home in the next couple of weeks and write down where you want to go and how you think you might get there. Every plan changes, but if you have a plan written down physically, you can basically do better when that turn in the road comes. A bend in the road is not the end of the road when you have a plan you can turn. And when you're writing that plan down, think about the areas you're going into: marine engineering, nursing, auto. What are the exciting areas of that particular business? Nursing is a big name, okay? But there are parts of nursing. There are parts of auto mechanics. There are parts of marine engineering that you can go into. And you find out that successful people in life had a wind at their back. I'm a very successful guy, all right? I became a CEO of an investment bank in 1983. And for the better part of 20 years, we grew the firm 20 times. I sold to Xerox, I bought it back. I sold to ING, a big Dutch company. But we grew it 20 times, a big pat on the back. You're really super. But what happened during that period? 83 to 2000, the market was up 10 times. I had the wind at my back. So look and try to find that wind at your back. That'll help you solve your problems. So I've given you a few little tools. The road of life is always under construction. You may need a couple of tools. So I wish you good luck, Godspeed, and may the force be with you.
That's pretty good for 24-hour notice, Mr. Davis. I kind of think you had that one written down. So good. All right. So Finn, Emma, Emily, Jacob, Alejandra, Kimba, Marjani, I got it right. Justin, Zach, and Shane. You are all outstanding individuals. In recognition of your extraordinary accomplishments and as a token of our deep appreciation for participating in this process, the foundation is providing each of you with an off-to-college swag bag, which we're really good at here at Nantucket. But first, our committee members would like to recognize each of you personally. Please step forward when your name is called.
Finn Kelly is the son of Aideen Irwin and Terrence Kelly. Born and raised on Nantucket, Finn, like many of his peers, feels at peace when he is fishing on the shores of this beautiful island. He enjoys fishing because it helps him to relax and step away from the stress that can build up. Finn is also an accomplished lacrosse, ice hockey, and golf player, and has contributed greatly to the success of these teams. Finn has challenged himself with a very demanding schedule and has proven himself to be a strong academic and the top of his class. Since he was a young boy, Finn has always had an interest in trucks and heavy machinery and has spent the last 2 years training, learning, and working in the field of construction management. He's excited to turn his passion into a career and will begin this journey next year while studying construction and project management at California Polytechnic State University. It has been a pleasure seeing pictures of the work that he has done in helping to build a crane truck, dig out a foundation for a house move, and hear of all the licenses he is working to achieve. Seeing his face light up when he is showing us his toolbox and hearing the joy in his voice when he speaks about working on projects out in California has shown us all that he is indeed following his intended path. It is my pleasure to introduce Finbar Patrick Kelly. Emma Davis.
Nice job, Emma.
Emma Davis has spent her life helping others and giving back to the community around her. So it is no surprise that she is following the footsteps of her mother, Suzanne Davis, aunt and grandmother, who all have a medical background, to pursue a career in nursing. Her compassion and innate intelligence make her a perfect fit for this career. She is an advocate for helping those suffering with mental health issues and is working to end the mental health stigma that affects us all in some way. Emma is an impressive young leader in our community. As elected captain of the swim and tennis teams, her leadership skills shine bright as she is a positive role model for her peers. 2 years ago, Emma began training to become a beach lifeguard, which in my opinion is the most demanding, hardest job on this island. The first aid training was inspiring for her and further fueled her dreams of becoming a nurse. Emma has impressed us all with her presentation skills when describing her career goals. This year, she completed a school-to-career internship at the Nantucket Cottage Hospital and has been able to shadow nurses, doctors, technicians, and pharmacists who all have encouraged her to be nurturing, reliable, strong, and empathetic. More than one person described Emma's excitement to study nursing to be palpable. She clearly chose the right profession. Next year, Emma will be studying toward her nursing degree at Sacred Heart University, my alma mater, and will also be swimming on the Pioneers Division I swim team. It is my pleasure to introduce Emma Jean Davis. Emily DeSalt. Watching Emily's introduction video truly set the tone in getting to know her. Emily is kind and reflective and enjoys the restorative downtime that she gets while exploring our island trails with her dog. Emily is a talented student, athlete, leader, and learner. She is someone who is dedicated to her community and committed to helping people. Last year, she was the recipient of the Community Service Award for her outstanding commitment to serving the Nantucket community. The daughter of Kristen and David DeSalt, Emily is an interesting story as to why she wanted to become a nurse. At the age of 12, Emily was diagnosed with a rare and painful disease that affected her leg. After a painful surgery and long recovery period, Emily realized that she would not have been able to make it through this challenging time without the aid of her nurses. She decided she wanted to become a nurse so that she can change others' lives the same way that her nurses changed hers. This year, she completed a school-to-career internship with physical therapist Joe Manning and is excited to start her nursing studies in the fall. Emily will study nursing at Merrimack College, where she has also earned a spot on their swim team. It was the camaraderie of the swim team as well as the competitive nursing program which helped her choose Merrimack. Her goal is to return to Nantucket Cottage Hospital, in true Emily fashion, and once again give back to the community that has helped to raise such an accomplished young woman. It is my pleasure to introduce Emily Mary DeSalt. Jacob Santaculanont. As the scholarship committee watched Jacob Santaculanont butcher a chicken during his presentation, we all looked around at each other thinking, this is what this scholarship is all about. Jacob grew up cooking with his mother, Magdalena Reed, and the rest is history. Jacob explained that the key to butchering a chicken is using a sharp and flexible knife. The way he spoke about the joy of having others eat his food and the positive vibes in the kitchen truly encompassed his love for cooking. Chef and culinary arts teacher Tom Croach describes Jacob as one of the brightest stars in the kitchen. He truly understands food and cooking. Outside of the kitchen, Jacob has a love for fishing, which is his favorite way of clearing his head. Baseball is another one of Jacob's passions, and we've all seen him on the Nantucket Current quite a bit recently. His love of the sport is obvious as his face lights up when he talks about the sport, practicing, and upcoming games. Jacob is a well-liked member of the student body and has a great sense of humor. My only regret during this process is not being able to taste any of his food. It is my pleasure to introduce Jacob Daniel Santaculanont.
And he started work at NGC this morning. Mr. Gurr?
Alejandro Chacon. Alejandro Chacon was born in El Salvador. He moved to Nantucket as a teenager and lived with his mom, Zaida, and his brothers Roberto and Mario, a recent Nantucket high school graduate. Since moving to the island, he has made many friends, joined the varsity soccer team, and kept up with his schoolwork, all while caring for his mother in her recovery from breast cancer. Alejandro, also known as Lucas, to his close inner circle, of which I think I'm one, is gentle by nature, cares deeply for others. When he's not at school, he's hard at work, landscaping, doing carpentry, painting, or stocking the shelves at Nantucket Wine and Spirits. I've had the good fortune of having Alejandro in several of my classes. He is always eager to learn and help others. In the vocational offerings at Nantucket High School, it was his automotive class that captured his imagination and helped him determine what he wants to do with his future, which is to attend the Universal Technical Institute where he will study automotive technology. It is my pleasure to introduce Alejandro Saez. Kimla Francis. Kimla Francis was born in Jamaica and moved to Nantucket in middle school. She appreciates living on the island and feels fortunate to be at Nantucket High School. The lofty expectations of her education in Jamaica were difficult to achieve because of crowded schools. Kimla learns from everything she does and values her education. She's adored by all her teachers. Oh my God. And
It's not easy.
it is not easy. I don't like this at all. She is adored by all her teachers because of this outlook and is admired and respected by her peers. She currently lives with her aunt because her parents, Alicia and Philip, moved over to the Cape. Kimla stayed because she wanted to graduate a whaler. Her dream of being a labor and delivery nurse was inspired by her grandmother. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Stuff. Also a nurse who Kimla shadowed as a young girl in Jamaica. Her desire to help others was ingrained in her in these formidable years. She will become the first person in her family to attend college when she reaches her goal of studying at Fitchburg State this fall. It is my pleasure. No offense to my next candidate here, this one's gonna be brutal. Mojani Pelletier. Mojani Pelletier was born and raised in Haiti. Don't make fun of me, Mama, it's cool. His name is a combination of both his parents' first names. After the devastation caused by the earthquake and the turmoil that followed it,
You want me to read?
nah, well, maybe in a second.
No worries.
His parents arranged for him to come to Nantucket and live with his aunt and her daughter, Brianna, a recent Nantucket Golf Club scholar. My first memory of Mo was him joining my carpentry class in December of 2019. This is hard.
Yeah. I got you if you need me.
I'm trying to do this one because I've got a man up here. He was immediately embraced by the group, and he eagerly got involved in construction of sheds. I noticed that he had taken a liking to the trade and employed him after school as a result. I take care of a bunch of houses. And we worked downtown reflooring an old house on North Liberty Street. Mo worked hard and shared stories of his childhood with me. These moments were some of my fondest. You're alive, it's not like it's a funeral. The fondest memories of life before COVID, we watched the joy of his smile when he witnessed his first snowfall and made his first snowball. And then we pelted him, it was brutal. His passion for life makes up his core. During the pandemic, Mo picked up a guitar, taught himself to play. Inspired by Michael Jackson, he began writing his own music. Music production has become his passion, one that he hopes to pursue at the University of New Haven this fall. It's my pleasure to introduce Mojani Pelletier. Don't be offended if I'm not as emotional as Justin Zadroga. Justin Zadroga, aka Jay-Z, Was born and raised on Nantucket. He lives with his parents, Becky and Jerry, and his younger sister, Samantha. His mother's family owned one of the only 2 homes on Muskegon Island. Frequent trips to this remote sandbar started his life on the water. While on land, Justin developed a love for dirt biking. He owned his first at the age of 12 and learned to ride safely as well as maintain it. His mechanical nature steered him towards the automotive shop at Nantucket High School, as well as classes like AP Calculus and Honors Physics. Back on the water, he spent summers working for the Nantucket Harbor Master. He carried this over into his school career class in his senior year. He volunteered with the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary this year as well to give back to his community. Justin spends most of his time outdoors, whether for work or just hanging out with his friends. It is this foundation of character that has guided him to pursue a life on the water. This fall, he will attend Massachusetts Maritime Academy, where he will study marine engineering. It is my pleasure to introduce Justin Adams.
Nice job, bro. There you go, okay? Right, exactly.
All right, Zachary Wallingford. All right, Zach is the son of Keith Wallingford and Ellen McKeon. Although Zach only came to Nantucket High School from Rockland, Maine in his junior year, he's made an indelible impression on everyone that he meets. Zach is a student with a serious focus on academic excellence, and at the same time has a great sense of humor, a work ethic that drives him like none I've seen before. Whether he's tinkering with the engine on his truck, helping after school in the auto shop, or assisting his dad clean and service an oil work, Zach is always working. Zach states that he has been taught that hard work is the way to great success in life, and it's paid off. After working for 2 summers with the Harbor Master, Zach has decided to combine his passion for mechanics and his love of the water to pursue a career as a professional mariner. Zach has an easygoing personality that allows him to flow from one conversation to another quite easily, be it talking to his friends or teachers. Zach has had his eye on the prize of being accepted into the marine engineering program at Mass Maritime since I first met him, and he's shown an intense laser-like focus on keeping these goals in sight. It is my pleasure to introduce. Shane Hamlin. Shane has lived on Nantucket his entire life. He is the son of Jenny and Tom. He has a twin sister, Sarah, and one of the 2022 Nantucket Scholars, as well as younger siblings, Aaron and Grace. Shane has always been interested in hands-on learning and real-life learning skills. He has worked summers as a landscaper, stone mason, and finally as an electrician's assistant for Nantucket electrical contractors. From the first day working in the electrical field, Shane said a spark went off. He decided to keep working in this field in the school to career program to hone his skills even further. For his in-person presentation, Shane decided to show the committee how outlets work. Tommy's laughing.
Yeah.
Tommy holds it. After showing us how you put in an outlet using a house wiring training board, Mr. Prasad volunteered to try it himself. Shane talked him through the process, step by step. When Tom finished, Shane commented, "You did a neat job. Neat is good. A contractor's neatness is everything." After finishing a year certificate program to become a journeyman electrician at Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology, Shane wants to continue on to get his associate's degree in construction management to get a broader knowledge of the building trades and eventually own his own business. It is my pleasure, sincerely, to introduce Shane.
All right, how about these kids? Oh my goodness. Let me just say, Mr. Gervin, that I feel a lot better because I've been crying up here for 20 years on this stuff. Now I don't feel so bad, right? All right. I'd ask everybody to stand, please. So, the Nantucket Vocational Scholar Program is now in its 5th year and awards scholarships to seniors who have established a pattern of personal success in the vocational program while a student at Nantucket High School. These students are highly motivated individuals who strive for excellence in pursuing a professional career and work diligently toward the goal of attaining a superior education in the vocational field of choice. It is my pleasure this evening, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Nantucket Golf Club and the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, to announce that this year, all 10 candidates will be receiving significant scholarships to the college, university, or technical school of their choice. Ladies and gentlemen, your 22 vocational